Good morning. Is there anyone here? Nope, just me. Hello, Lisa, Andrew, Eric, Kathleen, Irish Eyes. I don't know if you guys were commenting before it went live. Doesn't go live until approximately 8 o'clock. Good morning, Scott. Stephanie. How's my foot? Well, it's broken. I broke the bone in the second toe. I made a video about it and I put it on my other channel. I can't remember what they call it now. I don't have the chart and stuff and chart notes in front of me here. But I fractured the bone. It's fractured. So like the middle bone here, not the tip bone, but the second one in. I fractured it right by the joint. So it's about halfway cracked across. Happy Saturdays, everyone. Scott, I'm just Karen. Good morning. Yeah, what Allie? It happens, Karen, especially when you have little children. I stepped on a Matchbox car in the middle of it was not in the middle of the night, but it was about 4 o'clock in the morning. Ouch, yeah. Rational Thinker, good morning. Radka. Kevin Brand, good morning from South Carolina. Good morning, Kevin. The car is okay. A little piece of it did break off, and it was actually embedded in my foot. It was one of these it's Matchbox car, but it's a dump truck, and it had a plastic back on it that tilts back. I stepped on it, and a piece of that plastic broke off. So right here, like on my second toe, and it embedded in my foot. Did I swear? Yeah, but quietly because it was 4 o'clock in the morning. I was like, yeah. I said some choice words. Stepping on a plug, like an electrical plug, Lisa. Catherine Maloney, hello from Ireland. Welcome. All United. Good morning. Welcome. Dorothy Larkin, good morning from New Jersey. Jersey girl. We got a Jersey girl in the room. Oh, Laura L. Hi, good morning from India. Welcome. 3-pin. Oh, okay. You're talking about like the UK version, like the bigger, fatter one. Here in America, we have small, slim plugs. I don't have one nearby to show an example of, but leaving micro machines to trip the burglars. Yeah. Good morning, Janelle. Blue Mermaid, welcome. Glad you can make it. Oh, Scott, Legos. Legos are bad too. In my area, the worst thing you could ever step on without shoes on is they're called goat heads. I don't know if anybody lives in the desert anywhere, but those suckers hurt. They're about the size, a little bit bigger than a BB, and they have little barbs on them. And sometimes if you step on them, they snap off on your foot. Oh, they hurt, and they're terrible. If you want a bicycle, you have to get the thorn-proof tires and everything else, or put like green slime in there. Oh yeah, the Legos. I haven't sucked up any Legos in the vacuum cleaner yet. But it was oh, what do they call those things? Well, my son's only 3, so we try to keep away from anything small. Did you have a good time on my vacation? All United, I had an awesome time on my vacation. I really enjoyed it. I needed it badly to recharge my batteries, mentally. And I got to see people that I haven't. I only get to see them once or twice a year, and they all are part of a nonprofit organization that I belong to. So, and we were there playing in a golf tournament for a nonprofit, but I got to see them. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Is it Bebot? B Bot? Good afternoon from Germany. Sorry if I mispronounced the name. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Oops, it's a bit slow here. My girlfriend dropped a compact mirror on a hardwood floor, and I didn't see it, and I went flying. Ooh, sorry, Andrew. Okay, mommy. Oh, okay, mom. Yes, definitely. Yeah, need another vacation from the vacation. I didn't actually take this vacation with my family. My good morning, Cece. My wife and my daughter and my son, they went to one side of the state, and I went all the way to the other side of the state. We very seldom take vacations to the same place. They went to a cabin they rented just out on the U.S. side of the Canadian border, and I wanted to go to this charity event that because I go to it every year, same time every year. You're obsessed with mermaids, roosters, and what else? What else, Cece? If you guys haven't checked out Cece's channel yet, go over to and check out Crime and Coffee. She does an awesome job over there on her channel. I'm golfing this coming Friday in a tournament. Summer rains. Cool. Is it for charity or is it just for fun? Or I ended up taking second in the golf tournament I played in. I it, it wasn't my second round of 18 wasn't the best round that I've done in a while. Made some serious mistakes in judgment. I only get to play the course there maybe once a year, but I could have done better. But if I would have, I lost out first place with by 4 strokes. Well, April, good morning. How often do I do live videos? Scott B. I do these. These are open, ask questions. I do one every single Saturday, 8 a.m. here on Pacific Daylight Time, in the U.S. West Coast. She is Blue Mermaid. She is pretty good. Next time, Will. All right. Loma, good morning. Well, Loma Crosby, I'm not going to comment on that other than to say if people are being nasty to him, he brought it upon himself, and I'm sorry to say that. And that is the honest truth. I have nothing to say about him in a negative way, but he brought it upon himself. Southern Mom, good morning. Eric Fine, who do you think killed the girls in the Delphi, Indiana? The Delphi? I don't know, Eric. I wish I knew. Um, I think it's someone local. I think it's somebody who's still there and is just barely flying by underneath the radar. I think that it's definitely someone who is familiar with the area. So, and I really pray for the families that they get closure soon on that. I really do. It's 11:03 there. And okay, mom. Yeah, I don't know about that. I bet you're a great mom. Kevin, any news on the supposed Epstein suicide? Oh boy, there's not a lot of news, but there's a lot of conspiracies going around right now about it. There are people that are trying to guess at the autopsy results if there was a certain bone that was broken in his neck that that may indicate that it was a murder that was staged to look like a suicide. There's all kinds of speculation all over the board. Um, so yeah, I can give you a little pointers from my last video on Epstein case. He 2 days prior to his suicide or whatever, his death, he signed his last will and testament, and he had his attorneys file it in the U.S. Virgin Islands, which will make it harder for the victims to actually receive any compensation because they now need to hire an additional lawyer that is licensed to practice law in the U.S. Virgin Islands. And the U.S. Virgin Islands has a very they have a stricter set of rules when it comes to dispersing out money for victims of crimes. As opposed to if it was in New York, they could get a more sympathetic jury or judge that would, give them compensation. So he knew exactly what he was doing. Do you think he's alive, Will? Epstein? No. Any Schmied is in here? You mean besides myself? I consider myself a member of the Schmied fam. Love Scott's sense of humor in the way he does his videos. I really do. Good morning, Karen. Hey, Linda. Good morning. Will, I just joined your Patreon and had to stop payment. Had some trouble with the card, but I'll rejoin as soon as the card comes. I didn't want to support you because I do. Thank you, Linda. I really do appreciate it. I hadn't checked the Patreon since yesterday, and so I probably missed you. I only get noticed once. I think it's like 24 hours after someone joins. They send me a notice like new Patreon. Eric, fine. Do I like Miss Effin Wonderful? Are you talking about Miss Mensa? No, I prefer to refer to her as Miss Mental. And no, I do not like what she has to say. She's a nasty, nasty woman. Catherine Young, yes, definitely a Patreon supporter. On the closing of all the videos, I was just making the update the other day, and I know you're definitely in there. I don't have my notebook in front of me right here, but I know you're in there. With the videos on Patreon, when I upload to watch, you have to download the video. What am I doing wrong? All right, hold on a second. Yeah, I'm just Karen is absolutely right. Now I'm going back to CC's. Um, not the same person, Karen. Okay. No. Um, I don't know, Cece. To answer your question, I'm trying to figure out exactly what was happening there with videos on Patreon. When I upload to watch you, have to download video. What am I doing wrong? I don't know, Cece. Linda, Linda K. listening. How was my vacation? Uh, very relaxing. Apparently, it was so relaxing when I came home and I made my first video. I was talking really quietly, very, very soft. So I was relaxed almost into a coma, I guess. Will I in I Bloomington accents, Illinois. You're in Illinois, I guess, right? Bloomington, Illinois. Janelle Keen. I think it's disgusting that they're making a Watts movie. I knew about. I can't remember, and well, even if I could remember right now, I'd have to actually check my messages. But I was able to confirm a couple weeks ago, before the news actually came out, that they were in the process of making the Watts movie. Because my daughter has done some acting in the past, and she has her SAG card, and I had her reach out to the lady that is her agent, I guess you call it, or whatever, and she confirmed yes that there was a casting call out for it. Oh, thank you, Janelle. My wife made me clean up. She made me trim my beard up, get a haircut. She said I was looking really bad. Do you think Jeffrey Epstein was involved in the crimes Epstein was charged with? No, Margie, I don't know. Mark Epstein had a real disdain for his brother in a lot of ways. Mark is more, from what everything I've read that the New York Post had put in a really long article about him, was he's a down to earth. He's a multimillionaire himself, an extremely wealthy man, but he lives so like down here on earth instead of up there in the elite, ivory towers. He walks to work or to wherever he's going, or takes the subway in New York every day. He eats at Arby's restaurant for some reason because he likes the food. Apparently, I like that. What Jon Stewart used to say. Eat at Arby's, challenge your stomach to a fight. But he most of his Mark Epstein's friends are poets, artists, and alike. They're not the rich, snobby upper ivory tower looking down, their noses at everyone down here. But in a lot of ways, he really didn't get along with his brother, who always wanted to be the bigger and better thing. But they came from the same family. He is his only heir. Mark Epstein is the only one listed in the will as his heir. Yes, Janelle, the Rusick family definitely deserves peace and time to heal. Andrew, I agree with you there. Well, thank you, April. My wife says I look better too. I don't know about younger. She says whenever I put it on for you, put on my Detroit Tigers hat and my glasses. She says this look right here, I look a lot younger than as opposed to my other hat, and now my hair's all messed up. Oh, and I worked so hard on it too. Kiki Ritzer, thank you. Uh, Blue Mermaid. What is Barbie's? Ew. Police believe Paul Eder killed the girls. I'd have to actually look into Bloomington accent. I'd have to look into the notes again. But the name sounds familiar. I think he was one. Was he one of the ones that was arrested on similar charges somewhere else, or or in Ohio or nearby? I'm not. I'm just trying to like remember in my head right now. I mean, after a while, names within stories and cases they kind of all run together. But the name definitely sounds familiar. They passed. Let them rest in peace in regards to the family. Shannon and the children seems to market them in a film like their grim fate is entertainment. I agree with you, Andrew. In a lot of ways, it's definitely victimizing the family. Oh, Mark Bloomerate, the brother, Mark Epstein, he likes to eat at Arby's. It's I don't know how you describe Arby's if you're not familiar with Arby's. I can't think of anything in the UK or anywhere else in the world that would be like Arby's. Roast beef sandwiches are what they're known for. I don't know what he eats there. It just said that in the article it was him talking to with the New York Post reporter, and he was talking about his favorite things in life. His favorite things are go to the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and he likes to buy an Arby's sandwich and go to the Met and just sit and look at the paintings at the Met. Cece likes to challenge her stomach to a fight. That's something that John Stewart he always had this like this give and take with Arby's, this ongoing battle about Arby's. It's not real fast food. Good morning, Outback Outlaw from the land down under. Deli food heated. Yeah, Linda, that's a good way to describe it. Well, my son likes their turkey sliders. Every once in a while, when we eat fast food, we'll get them. We'll stop by and pick them up. Two of them in a little box of turkey sliders. He mainly eats the turkey meat out of them and then nibbles on the bread, but he likes them. Thank you, Dana Schmida. Awen Rees, good morning. Paula Joyner, I love the fact that you get right to the point. The facts about the case. What do you think of the making the movie, The Watchmers? Paula, it disgusts me because in a lot of ways, I feel that making this movie is victimizing the family all over again. I don't, I didn't get a chance to ask Frankie if their family is getting any money from the movie. But I could the next time I see him on live stream on another channel. I mean, it's not like I have, I reach out and talk to him personally, but I have seen him on online. Yeah, I have zero intentions to watch it either in the theater or on TV. I'm pretty sure it's going to go straight to TV or DVD. Lisa from West Virginia, good morning. Stephanie M would love to come visit the U.S. Yeah, there's some pretty nice places here. Lisa from West Virginia is making cupcakes. Ooh, when do I get one? All right. Before I forget, any chance I haven't seen her name yet because I don't have a screen name or anything else or a last name to go by, but Tanya from Perth, Australia, sent me a letter. I got it in the mail. She also sent me an article about a case. Apparently, she mailed this thing a month ago. I got it just yesterday. So, it cost her $3 to mail a letter from Australia to me. Darn. But I haven't seen her name come up yet. Cupcakes sound yummy. Next, want to give a shout out to all the people on this list, and I'll try to read through it as fast as I can. Yeah. All right. So, Iris Sayo, Bill Buckley, Lee Ann C., Anna Dupree, Dwayne Lawrence, Candace Davis, Jessica Rosenfeld, Sarah Troyer, Denise Jones, P. Moore, Kathy Dumara, Carol Christensen, Mr., and Karen Barton, Karen with a C, Candace Me, Janice Wallingford, Betha Rogers, Teddy Comer, Dawn Chetholm, Brenda Martinez, Alina Dyson, Huey Freeman, Alicia White, Clara Fox, Angelica Breckenridge, Brian Blee, Ballet May, Sarah Walls, Michelle Astral, Mike Shermer, Pup 545, Rosa Zalas, Teresa Bennett, Don Fraser, Melissa Keaton, Jan Cook, Diana White, Vivian Gregorius, Andrea Curtis, Bengal UK, and Christian Mohammed and Stacy Thornton. Welcome to the community and for subscribing to my channel in the last 30 days. Any little T fans in here? Yeah. Can I count? Do I count, Dana? Little T rules. Andrew, we got another one. Your opinion, Watts case closed? Yes. Watts case open? No. 3, Watts case open with pending arrest? No. No. There's no charges pending or in any kind of investigation going on in the Watts case. As far as the state is concerned, the case is closed. The county is closed. There are no charges. If there was anything else that anybody who could have been charged in this case, they would have charged them by now. Case closed. I have a closed case in the cupboard. Outback. You guys want to check out a funny channel? Check out Outback Outlaw. He's funny. Linda K. Listing's got a great channel as well. I'm just getting a picture of her in that outfit. Watts isn't worth the air. The worst human being alive. There should easy to be breathe. Yeah. Dana. Stacy Payne. What's up with the subscribers that cut her parents' throats? You're talking about Deborah Martin. Deborah Martin, I have heard from. I'm not going to say how the connection is, but I have heard from her camp. Let's call it that. They email me usually about once every 2 weeks, and there's nothing right now. They're doing pretrial and motions, and I believe she is currently, if not, it's going to be this coming Wednesday. She'll be having the complete psychological evaluation, stuff like that, to see what was, I think she might be, I don't know for a fact, but I think that her and her attorney and are trying to push it towards diminished capacity or mentally ill, something along that lines. As for defense. Will, did anyone guess correct on the amount of quarters in the Rockstar can? Um, Audra, yeah, well, not correct, but there were in the. I made a video update about that. Who came the closest? That was a while ago. I'm sorry about that. If you didn't know, Audra, I can't remember who actually got closer. So it was a big Rockstar can. I've been saving quarters in it, and that took quite a long time. It probably wouldn't have taken so long, but I hardly ever deal with cash anymore. I mean, there was a time in my life when that's all you ever dealt with was cash. Or if you didn't have cash on you, you wrote a check. Well, not anymore. I mean, anywhere around here where I live, uh, they want a debit or you take your phone and boop, boop. It's like, really? Listen, my fingers are not working. Sorry, guys. It's okay, Linda. Mine don't work most days either. Lisa from West Virginia. Yeah, I know I put it in there. Sorry, gotta move. I gotta prop my foot up. I got a little footstool here underneath the table that I have to put my foot up on. And it's the swelling's gone down some. Tina Dawson, Dawson. Hey, Marie. Oh, sorry, Marie. Good morning, Marie. Um, well, did you remember or look into the Twinkie defense the guy had after committing murder? Now, Stacy, I'm drawing a blank on it right now. I may have, but I don't have my notebook in front of me. It's upstairs. But I tore all the pages out of what I needed to come, to do this live stream. I'm sorry, sweetheart. No, that is very true, Linda. Life has become so impersonal that we all we get is computer voice and push buttons these days. I hate that. I love the people and people exchanging and miss that. Yeah, very true. Oh, thank you, Janelle. I don't think I'd ever write a book though. Janelle wrote, in case you guys missed it. Um, Will, I would buy your book if you wrote one. I'm sorry you lost your friend so many years ago. I don't think it would be wrong to write a book about what happened. I have lived a very interesting life to this point. I've seen a lot of tragedy, a lot of hate, and at the same time, I've seen people give everything that they have to help and protect and love other people they've never met. And that's what's important in this world is you remember that even though there are all these awful, evil things that happen, there are good people that are still out there every day doing the best for people they've never met and they never will meet. I'm just gonna open up this article that she sent, that Tanya sent me. This is from, and I don't have, hold on, I got to put my glasses on. I'm old, I can't read without them. The Weekend West. Judge throws away the key for WA's worst killer. Landmark sentence for monster. The case that she sent me. Sister of Beverly Quinn. Right. She's Tanya from Perth, Australia. You know, I'm sorry, sweetheart. I really am drawing a blank on it right now. I mean, I'm sure I have looked into it. I'm not right here in front of me. You know, that I can flip through the my book and see it. Oh my God, Stacy painted. Oh, I just saw that. Wow. That's terrible. Funny, but terrible at the same time. Daniela, good morning. No reason to be sorry. It's funny. You know, if anybody's familiar with the Jeffrey Dahmer case, you know who he was. They checked her meat grinder, but it was bleached clean. Mm. You definitely lightened it up, Stacy. Thank you. I appreciate it. Need a good laugh in the morning. It definitely does, Dana. Tragedy, the humor definitely gets us through the tragedies in life. Hey, what do you think about San Fran changing name for offenders? Um, I don't know what you're talking about there, Danielle. Why Jeffrey? Why? See, we're sitting here with all these true crime loser jokes. The rest of the community probably doesn't watch them. They should. They should all be subscribing to his channel. Stiven. Next, we'll be talking about Stiven. Linda K. Listen has a foot, and that's how I get by laughing at myself, letting others laugh at me too. Now, um, San Francisco is wanting to change offenses to offenders' names to less offensive terms. Really? Why? Why, Will? Why? Can't say felon or convict, etc. That's just stupid. They are what they are. Who are they going to hurt their feelings? If they didn't want to hurt their feelings, they shouldn't have committed the crime. Because they are all wankers. You know, this morning when you commented Outback Allah, when you commented wankers, that's like the first time I've heard wankers in a long time. I used to hear it all the time, but not so much anymore. Oh, Linda K, how's my foot? Oh, it's broken, sweetheart. I broke the so here's your big toe, your next toe in. I broke the bone. It's like the second bone in. I fractured it right by the joint. Margie, that's what's important. And well, middle phalange bone. Thank you. I was like, I was in here and I was cleaning up this morning. And I took all my paperwork and everything, and I moved it upstairs. Sucks. You have a boot. Janelle, they gave me a walking shoe to basically a hard plastic shoe that has a bottom and it molds around my foot and it's got Velcro straps on it. Much. Outback Outlaw doesn't swear much. Nope, you don't. I will. Janelle. Blue Mermaid is cold it's painful when it's cold. The getting old life, welcome to it. Yeah, Linda. Ouch, I say, Kiki. Yeah. Well, I'm not as young and spriteful as I used to be. My wife says my warranty expired, and that's why simple injuries, tend to add up. In the UK, we have been told we can't refer to children as naughty anymore. Why not? I'm sorry. I probably am not the most PC, individual out there, and I do occasionally. I have to watch, what I say because terms that I use growing up, apparently you can't say anymore at all, anywhere ever. I mean, I never use like the N word. I'm not racist. It's just I'm not allowed. You're not allowed to say things like I'm giving this as an example only. You're not allowed to say the word retarded. Now, when we use the term or the word retarded, we weren't talking about someone who was mentally deficient or had a learning disability. It was that retarded as in that is just stupid. Why did you do that? That is retarded. But you can't use that word anymore. Constantly, people are telling me you can't say that, can't do that, can't say that. That's wrong. And I'm like, what do you mean? Well, you can't call him retarded. I'm like, why not? They're like, because he's mentally deficient. And I'm like, no, he's not. I went to high school with him. He's perfectly normal. He's just being stupid. But convict could refer to a currently incarcerated person, while a juvenile offender or delinquent would be described as a young person impacted by the justice system. Very well put. Very well put. I like how you put that. Yes. Chickadee D, welcome. Christopher Watts would have murdered Kessinger next. I don't think so. Um, yeah, so my wife is she's working on her master's in psychology, and I reached out to quite a few different people that who already have their degree in the psychology field while studying the Watts case, and there are people like Christopher Watts who are out there. They walk among us everywhere. They could be sitting right next to you on the couch right now, and Yeah, sure, they're narcissistic, and you see that, in their interactions with, you and everyone around them. But these people, when they're pushed to a point where they, feel they have no way out, and they decide to go down that route to, annihilate the family to, get their freedom. There's no one that can talk them into it, and there's nobody that can talk them out of it, and they're on this path. All you can hope for is that something veers them off, yeah, but nobody can talk them out of it. Incarceration can't stop them. You can put them in jail for 20 years, and they come back out. If they get to that same feeling again, they're just gonna keep on that path. Would he have killed Nicole if the circumstances were different? If he would have gotten away with it the first time, and down the road, and she would have, pressured him or made him feel, as little belittled and everything else as he felt in, the relationship that he was in. Yeah, he very well could have killed her. But in a nutshell, would he have killed her right after that? No, not most likely not, because she actually, she, by his own statements, she made him feel different. And for the first time in his life, he said during the relationship, he felt like he had, an equal standing. I got a lot of flack over that, and I'm not excusing what he did by any means at all. I mean, he's a monster, and I wish the family would have chose, to execute him, but we'd still be talking about him today because he would be sitting on death row for at least the next 15 years before they would ever get anywhere near the execution for him. April Sunset will says we should all sue her. All right, she didn't say that exactly. She said it's ridiculous. I'm retired. I will tell a child if they're naughty. Sue me. I get it. I have a huge issue with that. I'm at the playground, about a week ago with, my son, and he's running around being a little maniac, like he's 3 years old. That's what they do. And this lady came up to me, and she's like, "You should control your child. He's going to get hurt. He's going to hurt somebody else." I'm looking around, and the only thing is a group of kids that are that way, about 50 yards, and giant grass field and trees. No parking lot, no cars. And I'm like, think he's going to get hurt? You think he's going to hurt another child? She's like, yeah. You can't just let them run around like that. Like, what am I supposed to do? Plop him in front of a television? A lot of people out there that want to tell people how to raise their children. Can't blame Chris's mother for, what he did. Everyone has a choice. Oh, he definitely had a choice. I'm not saying that either, that he didn't have a choice. He put himself in that situation, and he did this, and he made this decision. Rationally, I don't know about that. Did he do it? Yeah. There's no question at all about that. But I mean, still, yeah, he had a choice. He could have walked away. He didn't have to go that route. Why did he decide to go that route? Nobody knows. Could have just simply killed Shannon and walked away. He didn't have to hurt those girls, but he did. And that's the part that we will never truly understand. Why would he then load up Shannon in the truck and load up the girls, drive 45 miles away, and then one by one kill his children? That never understand that. I never will. I don't understand anybody that would ever hurt a child. Stacy says she disagrees. Watts would never kill NK because she had him by the yaya. That's an interesting theory, Andrew. Oh yeah. Summer rains. I look back and I'm like, I'm sure that my parents thought the same thing about me. And video games were going to rot my brain, and that we're lazy, we weren't doing anything. But even because I can still remember when the I'm going to date myself here. I remember when the Atari system came out. We had Pong, and then the next video game thing that we had as children growing up was in television was the next one, and we played a lot of it. But man, we were always outside. We got to go outside and do whatever the heck we wanted, go anywhere we wanted. We just knew when the street lights came on, you better have your butt in that house. Now, my 3-year-old, I got him for his third birthday. I got him one of those Kindle Fire tablets. It's made for children, and he'll sit and play with it for a little bit. But and he's got the Elmo game on there that's teaching him the sounds of the alphabet. Annie P had an Atari and a television. Commodore 64. Ooh, there's the Atari 2600. Yeah. Well, we had the in television system. We had that, then we had the printer and the keyboard, and you plugged it all into your TV. I never understood. I never used the keyboard or the printer, but we had Bond games that I remember playing the most of was like Burger Time. I don't know if anybody remembers that one. Contra. It was what, left, right, up, down, A, B, B, select for unlimited life. Duck Hunter. That was with the first Nintendo. Somewhere around here in the house, I still have an original Nintendo. I don't have the gun or any of the games. At least I don't think I do. All this stuff behind me is just Chotsky stuff that I've saved over the years. Got a picture up there. Probably can't see it. It's up next to the where it says Daddy in green there. That picture of me at my high school prom. Little tiny gold frame. Pac-Man. I remember going to the arcade. Apparently they're making a comeback, and so are pinball games. What's the green jar behind me? This? That's a lava lamp there. That's one of the things I won at the golf tournament. I won that and giant like wooden framed thing you put pictures in. Karen loves pinball machines. Well, I used to go to this place. They were inside of a bowling alley, and we grew up in a bowling alley pretty much. When we were younger, whenever we were inside, we were always on a hot dog league. So you paid your league fee, and in every game you got a free hot dog. If you didn't get any condiments with it or anything else, it was just a hot dog. But we would bowl, and then my parents were on a league later on the same day, so we would get there at like 11 o'clock in the afternoon, and we wouldn't leave until 10, 11 o'clock at night. But they used to have an arcade where it was just pinball machines everywhere. I was a really good pinball player there for a while. You love lava lamps? Dana. I hadn't. That's why I put that up there because I haven't had one. I was probably like 20 last time I had one. You know, Linda K doesn't. I don't play video games. Oh, sorry. Now there's somebody I could get along with. Andrew. I read books, played duck hunt once at age 15, got bored. Andrew, before I started this YouTube adventure, up until about this is 2019, so 2017, so about 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago, I owned a bookstore. At one point, I had in my inventory. I had roughly right around 35,000 books in my inventory. Used to sell online on Amazon, Abe, Alvarez, um, let's see, Abe, Alvarez, eBay's, half.com, um, Amazon Marketplace. Love books, still do. But I got to the point where I a one man show. I had two ladies who were working for me in the business, and one wanted to retire, and the other one was her daughter. And they wanted to retire and move to Las Vegas, Nevada, of all places to retire to. That's where they wanted to go. And then I tried running it by myself for the next 5 years, and it was hard, very hard. Now you have to write a book. Oh, I could write a Janelle. I could write a book on. Have you seen the video about that I did? It's on my channel about when I was in a coma. I still remember, like today, like it happened yesterday. The livid dreams that I had when I was in a coma. But I could write a book just about that. Those I think I covered three stories in that video. Fantastic. I love books. I love the printed word. The best thing about the printed word, and I'm a firm believer in this, and everyone should be as well, is the printed word isn't erasable. It isn't edible. Once you have that book, the government, nobody can say, you know what, we don't like this. We're going to take that part away. Once you have that in print, it's there forever. You know, Fahrenheit, or burning the damn thing. So people can hear you when you're in a coma. I don't know if they can. I don't remember. I was in a drug induced state, coma, and I would come to, and then I would go back out as the medication was doing its business, and I came to, and I was literally in one of the parts I talk about in that video. I was physically there in the room in the hospital, and I'm sitting there, and for some reason in my head I look out the door, and there's big glass doors with drapes, that lead into the room, and I see someone walk by wearing a green, like a jumpsuit, like a pilot's outfit, and the first thing I think of in my head, they're going to deport me. And I ripped all the lines off me, and catheter out. I took it all out, and I tried to get out of the room and run because I thought they're going to deport me to Mexico. I don't know why I thought that, but I just did. And they got me back into bed and doped me back up again. Book tour 2021. I see you there for the book signing. Yeah, I have lived a very interesting life. And I'm not tooting my own horn here. I have seen things in life that most people will never see, never experience. I've been there, done that. I've done it all. And a lot of people are really surprised that I'm here today. Are you a shy person? Chickadee D? Me? No. Danielle? Daniela, do I remember everything? I think I do, but I don't know if I do or not. Because I had you gotta check out that video if you haven't seen it. Because the dreams, the livid dreams that I had were so realistic. It was like I was there and I was dealing with them. I would see people in in not my hotel room, but in the hospital room. And give you an example. All right, one of the other ones that I talk about in that video is I'm in a coma. I'm laying there in bed and I'm droggy, and all I want to do is I want to comb my hair. And who shows up with a comb but Sid Vicious? You know, the guitar player from the Sex Pistols. Why would Sid Vicious show up in my hospital room with a comb to, and hand it to me to comb my hair? Now, that happened in my dream, and literally, I mean, it was so real. Like I could see him sitting right next to me in a chair. I could smell that smell of leather from like his leather jacket for some reason. And these things were so real. All right. And then later on in real life, when my wife came back to the room later on and I was more livid, I actually had a freaking comb. Where'd it come from? I don't know. Maybe he really brought it to me. Yeah. But then again, I also thought that I was an elderly man in my 70s or 80s. It didn't really give me a time period, but I believe that, and you ever been somewhere like you have deja vu, and it's like, I have seen this place before. I've been here before. There's one part where I talk about, where I was an old man and in a wheelchair, and for some reason I was left in a place where all these doors on, and that place, for some reason, I feel like I know where it is, but I just haven't been able to exactly find it. See you all in the next 411 live stream, Karen. You're married to a mobster, real life, and didn't even know it till he was in prison. My life is a ball of wonder and shock to but real, too real. Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. I was talking to my mother-in-law, my 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 I call her my grandmother because both my biological grandmothers are dead, but I always call her my grandmother. But it's my mother-in-law's husband's mom. She's still alive. She lives in McLaughlin, and they all relocated from Jersey out there because they were all, the entire family is mobbed up, and they're still, what family's still back there is all in it still. Outback Outlaw, you look like Elvis too. Pippin, Pip, Pippin. What what sign am I? What star sign? Is that last like astrological sign? Is that what you mean? I don't understand it. Pippin. Oh, Oh, so you mean like astrological? No, I'm a Gemini. Yeah. See that Janelle Keen? That's the problem is I have the settings, so I can't put any links in the live streams because although if I didn't put that in there, I was getting people who would show up on here and they constantly were putting links in. Well, go to this channel, I'm doing a giveaway today for the first 50 people, and it was just scams. And the live stream was getting filled with people just doing that, and the moderators and myself, we got other things to do besides sit there and go delete, 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 delete. Right now, Karen, I think, is the only mod that's in here, and I really do thank you, Karen. You show up a lot more than anybody else. Well, you and Critter um, show up the most. Willis, he doesn't show up ever in live stream chat. He'll show up. He'll message me and tell me that he's watching it. You're Gemini, Sharon, aka Shaza. You're Gemini. I'm 6/19, June 19th. Kiki Mercer is a Gemini as well. Happy belated birthday. Thank you, Andrew. Karen rocks. She does. She definitely rocks. Oh, there we go. We got a June 7th. Oh, well, okay. I saw it. I saw it, Linda. You can retract it, but I saw it. Are we outgoing people? I don't know. Most outgoing person I know is I think she's a Pisces. Pisces, me. See, Radka. Radka's a Pisces as well. I don't give much stock in. Well, I don't put much stock in astrological charts. And ooh, there's a Virgo. Uh-oh. Everybody quietly just leave the room. There's a Virgo here. But I kid. I'm just kidding, Summer Rain. Age of Aquarius. Aquarius. Thank you, Outback. Now I got that stuck in my head. Thank you very much. I've got Jefferson Airplane White Rabbit pulled up on my other tab right now. Blue Mermaids Aquarius. Earworm, thank you. Are you more like your mom or dad, personality wise? Chickadee, my dad. My dad, definitely. My parents were definitely weird. Um, my mom was a flower child, reformed. That's what Dad used to call her, a reformed flower child. But my mom always had the hippie, um, let's change the world, but let's start right here. And big giant dreams, but never any ambition to actually follow through with them. My dad was a hardworking family man. Worked the farm, and then whenever there was an opportunity to do additional work, he did that. He was a master carpenter on top of it. In a lot of ways, unlike my father. My father would listen to the Rat Pack, Frank Sinatra. Every day he came home, the first thing he did was he walked in, he sat down on the couch, and he would listen to put on Frank Sinatra on the stereo, on the record player, and we knew Let dad just sit there, listen to the music. And then my mom would be in the kitchen, listening to the Mamas and the Papas, or Bob Dylan. But somehow they found a way to get along, and they found a way to make it work. In a lot of ways, it's kind of like mine and my wife's relationship. She's over here, politically and musically, and what she likes and what she likes to do, and I'm over here. But we make it work because we respect each other. And that's the number one thing. You got to respect each other. Andrew will be right back. Linda K. listening. Great day. Stay safe and be blessed. Thank you, Will. Have a great weekend. You too, as well, Linda. All the leaves are brown. Is it on a winter's day? I can hear the song. Mama Cass. If I close my eyes, I can hear Mama Cass singing it. Yep. Oh, I'm sure my wife has an awesome sense of humor. We've been married over 25 years. She's California Dreaming. Great song. It really is. Yeah, she has to have the sense of humor to put up with me. I've done some crazy things over the years. Crazy, crazy things. And the craziest of them all is I decided one day, you know what? I'm going to start a YouTube channel. And I didn't tell anybody about it. And to this very day, there is nobody who is my friend besides those who have actually been here on my channel, like Tim and uh, Ron and Zena and Robin. They're the only friends that know that I have a YouTube channel. I've never advertised this channel on Facebook to my friends, asked them to join. My family, the only ones that know are my two of my three sisters. I had four, but one died. But that's it. I decided if I was going to make a go of this YouTube adventure that I was going on, I was going to do it on my own account, on my own accord, and I was going to make this work by myself. I was going to learn it, and I was going to do the best I could at it, and let the chips lay where they may. Blue Mermaid, yeah, definitely. Um, and so here's a thing about the lighting. Right now, I only have one light on. I've got light like professional light stands that are on a that you'd use in a photography studio because, and this is how I started all this is I started networking with people. Yeah, Tim is great, isn't he? He'll be here later on this afternoon. But a friend of ours is a professional photographer, and he had two extra lights and one of these giant background pole things where you put the green screen on, and he was getting rid of it. He was just sitting in a tub. He's like, oh. I said, well, I'll make you an offer for it. I go, I don't know how much you paid for it. And he said, well, I'll make you a deal. Instead of cash, we'll do an exchange. And I said, well, okay, what's the exchange? He said, I need somebody who can come to my home and remove two bushes from my front yard. So my wife can expand her flower bed. And I said, okay. He goes, and you have a truck and you have the ability to haul it away. We don't have a truck and we'd have to pay someone to come and do it. If you come and remove the two bushes, I'll give you those two and I'll give you a camera that can help you, set up. Bonus. So I did it in exchange. Barter. Network. I've gotten this far by doing it. So yeah. But right now there's only one light on. That's why one side of my face is, really illuminated and this side's dark. That and I've got another one right here. It's round light, soft light, but I don't have it on. But oh yeah, I grew up, Janelle. I grew up bartering in in our home town back home in Wisconsin. It's how we got everything. You have extra eggs. You trade them with your neighbor down the road who had something that you needed. What does my shirt say? Oh, it says, um, "Friends don't let friends." Um, there. Can you read that? Friends don't let friends drive drunk. Not drive like a car, like mathematically. Derive. Yeah. My daughter, it was a kind of like a math phenom, I guess you'd call it. I don't know where she got it from. She certainly didn't get it from me. I have a hard time balancing my checkbook. But she, um, like when she was in elementary school, she'd already finished. I think she was like in the fifth grade. She already finished all her high school and started on her college mathematics. Yeah, we always knew she was really good at Go Packers. My family is still season ticket holders to the Packers. Yeah. Your father-in-law is in Wisconsin, Janelle? She's got a good sense of humor. Karen, I'm jelly. No way. You're a Dallas fan? Sorry. How long have you been inflicted with that disorder? I kid. Come on, Summer Rain. I can be a fan of whatever you want. I, I'll never root for the Dallas Stars because I hate the owner. They stole them. Stole them. They were my Minnesota North Stars, but then they moved on to Dallas and became the Dallas Stars, and I will never root for them ever. Where do I do holidays? Chickadee D um, here. Well, it's the reason why we bought this house. We've only been here, you know, I think 6 months, something like that. But we bought this house. There's only me, my wife, my daughter, and my son. And this is a six-bedroom home upstairs on the main level. And it's a split level, so there's three on this level and then four on this level. So it's actually seven, but one's not really technically a bedroom because it doesn't have a closet. So stupid laws. But we bought this house because we everybody around us, all my family, that is here locally, which is only my sister and her extended, all her rat pack kids, and we had we were always meeting at my mother-in-law's house, which is a smaller home, very cramped, and you couldn't walk through the house without bumping elbows into each other. But we do now that we bought this place on purpose. Uh, and that is because we wanted some place, for when we have friends come in from out of town, like Tim, who will be here later. He has his own room upstairs, and he's got a lock on his door. He has a key to the front door of my home. He can come here anytime he wants. The way we treat friends, and whatever I have is his. So, and then we have two other rooms that are completely empty still that nobody's using, and one bedroom on that side of the house, and the other one is over the. It kind of extends out towards the garage. Marie, I totally agree with what you just wrote there. She wrote, "A relationship between a husband and wife works if the two compromise." An old aunt once said that God has created us with two ears and one mouth because we have to talk less and listen more. I stop doing this and do this. Yeah. Yeah, I know me and my wife, we definitely, we exchange. We're on polar opposites of everything, but when we respect each other and we listen to each other, and that's just who we are. Never go to bed angry, and always respect the other person, and never make it personal. It doesn't matter what we can talk about anything. Janelle Keen, you recycled everything. Yeah, I'm kind of bad about that myself, there, Janelle. Waste not, reuse, reduce, recycle. We Americans, our minds go straight to Christmas, Thanksgiving, etc. How long? I'm just Karen. How long have you guys been together? We've been married 25 years. We've been together 27, something like that. Yeah, I think I'd know that off the top of my head. I'm sure she knows to the exact moment. But yeah, we've been married 25 years. In love with her more today than I was the day I met her. Oh yeah, yeah. Like I said, I'm pretty bad at it. Thank you. My folks at 52 years. Mom passed. Sorry, Daniela. Sorry about your mom. Yeah, my dad died in 1981. Every year, when I'm back home, I clean his grave marker, and I make sure that the every year for on all the major holidays that the funeral home, not the funeral, the cemetery, the people who take care of the place, I can't remember what they call them. They actually have a really funny name for the people who take care of the grave sites, but they put flowers on his grave for you know all Father's Day and his birthday, and then Veterans Day because my dad was a veteran as well, Marine, just like myself. My grandfather was a Marine, father was a Marine, was a Marine, and I don't know. I got to ask if I want my son to follow the footsteps to be a Marine. I wouldn't be saddened by it if he was, but at the same time, we always hope that there's the next generation doesn't have to go through something like that. I certainly didn't have to do it. I mean, I left a six-figure job to become a Marine. So it wasn't like I did it because I didn't have any future or what didn't have a way any earnings or a way to go to college. I went to college already, and I said, screw it. To your better half for 47 years, April. Congratulations on the 47 years. Here's to 47 more for you and your better half. How my wife refers to me is I'm the better half. She also says that I'm the one night stand that wouldn't go away. Dun, dun, dun. Your son just graduated from boot camp, Fort Benning, Georgia. Congratulations to Fort Benning, Georgia graduate. See, that would be United States Army, right? Because as far as I can remember, we only have. I went to MCRD San Diego for boot camp, and then there's Paris Island, in North Carolina for Marine Corps. I think we only have the two, so it'd be Army, right? Fort Benning. I'd have to check. I'm just Karen. My sister's son just graduated from the Army, and I'm pretty sure he went to Fort Benning, Georgia, as well. He would have graduated probably 4 months ago, 3 months ago, somewhere in there. I don't know where they got him right now, but he's somewhere with a lot of dirt, a lot of sand. I don't think they sent him overseas though yet, but he's somewhere. I follow him on Facebook. One way I keep track of nieces and nephews and everything else. Last week, my great uncle from Cali was 5 years POW in that. I fly the American flag and the POW MIA flag in front of my house. Always will until they're all brought home. Let us never forget the fallen soldier that has never been brought home to their loved ones and family. Yeah, Dana Schmida. I read something about that. A lot of those fires down there might have been started because they were clear cutting for to plant palm groves, which are it's where they get palm oil. They've been clear cutting it for cattle and for palm, cutting down the rainforest for that. That they were probably burning that, that, and that's what caused one of the fires. Sharon, military brat yourself. Yeah, I wasn't a military brat, but my mother, after my father died, my mother worked for the U.S. government, and we bounced around the United States a lot. It was just as bad as being a military brat. Kiki Mercury is back. Karen, how are you do? Donkey Kong 80. Welcome. I didn't see your name before. I'm sorry I didn't welcome you before. How are the dogs, especially the blind ones? Shows how caring you are and your wife are. Most people would have put them to sleep. Oh, not a chance. No, Janelle, these dogs, they're our family members. They're not just pets to us. They, but yeah, um, they are kind of like my children. And I took um, well, two of them, were born completely deaf and unable to really get around, and they had other medical issues like dysplasia and stuff like that that came on later on. But they're doing great. 198th Infantry, Fort Benning, Georgia. But overall, they're having a great life. They get to come inside whenever they want, go outside. Um, they have a huge backyard to run around in, and it's fenced in. It's got a 6 foot wooden privacy fence all the way around it, and was not cheap to replace. I fixed it when I bought the house. And they can go into the garage whenever they want. They have free reign of the place. Um, three of them can't make it upstairs very well, so we have to carry them up any length of stairs. But they only have to go up 2 stairs. But even that is really difficult, especially for Freya and Calliope. Danielle, I have 2 cats only because I work, can't tend to a dog. I have one cat. One cat came free, showed up in my house one day. Hey, faithful one. Well, welcome. Didn't see you before. Um, But the cat showed up at my house one day eating my other cat's food, and then I happened to see the missing poster for the cat, and I called the lady up and I said, "Hey, I found your cat. It's at my house." She came by. She looked at the cat. She goes, "Yep, that's him." She goes, "I'll be back in a little bit." I'm thinking she's going back to her house to get the pet carrier. Nope, she was gone. She didn't come back for a couple of days, and then she brought me a little tiny bag of cat food. Said, "You can keep him. He's happy you're here." You drive your cat's nuts. No, but speaking of bears, sensible crime. On my way home through the White Pass area of Washington State, driving along, and I see something that caught my eye over to the left, and I was like, "I did not see that. I didn't see that." So I actually came to a stop and pulled off the side of the road, came to a stop, turned around, went back, and there is the biggest freaking black bear I have ever seen in my life, besides like in a zoo. It just kind of sitting there watching the traffic go by. He couldn't have been more than 6 feet off the road. Big, big, big one. Oh, she just love black bears. I've had some encounters with them while hunting, but I've never seen one that big just sitting there. Usually, um, we encounter them, we see them off in the distance, that and cougars. But we have coyotes. Danielle has we have coyotes on my back of my building. We get coyotes here. They come right into town where I am. I was in Florida, huh? Amy, thank you for your for rescuing your five fur babies. Oh yeah, Kiki, that wasn't gonna happen. Yeah, Sharon Ike Shazaz, you live in Western Washington. Yeah, I'm on the eastern side, but I was over there for my vacation. I was in Packwood. Then I went to from Packwood to Centralia, Chehalis, then Bellingham, and then Federal Way, and then back down to the Chehalis area, and then home. I went yeep, yeep, through the state. April sunset. They have foxes and badgers. 109 townhomes. Wow. Well, it's like here where I live. People keep on, they build these homes farther and farther out away from town, and then they're like, "Oh my God, my cat disappeared, my dog disappeared, a mountain lion got it," and I'm like, "What did you think was going to happen? You move into their area. They were here well before we ever got here, and the coyotes, in the case Daniela, that what they're going to do is the coyotes will adapt. They're very adaptable." Because just remember, the coyote is related to the wolf, and they are very adaptable, and yeah, they will find a way to use the people moving into that area to their advantage. And a lot of times, what coyotes like to do is they like to chase prey down out of like hills and valleys into where, say, if there's a road, they'll try to chase them out in the traffic, so traffic hits and kills them, and then they just come picking up their free lunch. They're very smart animals. See it here all the time. Especially along the major freeway that comes through town. They'll chase them out, and especially at night, you'll see rabbits and all kinds of stuff. Just all of a sudden for a long distance, like be jumping out into the freeway. because they're smart. They use it to their advantage. Yeah, they work smarter, not harder. That's true. Alligators, sensible crime. You're in Florida, right? I just watched a special about Florida and them going after the anacondas or pythons down there. Coyotes hang out at Wrigley Field in Chicago. Do they? Didn't know about that. No, I'm in the Midwest, not Florida, but love alligators. I don't. I've eaten quite a few of them. Wow. But yeah, they're very adaptable animals. They will use everything that is around them to their advantage. What? You don't want to kiss one? They eat the rats. You're just east of Toronto, Canada. My family they actually went over into Canada last weekend. And I can't remember the name of the town that they said they went to, but somewhere up by the panhandle of above Idaho into Canada. I can't remember where, but they said they went over into Canada for the day. I think I have to um, contact a Canadian consulate if I ever want to go back to Canada. My wife got me kicked out of Canada. Crazy story if you haven't heard it before. We have a fox that comes to our garden every evening. Same time, he always takes food from my hand. Wow, that that would be interesting. I don't know if I'd want to do that though. A wild animal. You want to hear the story about how my wife got me kicked out of Canada? Okay, so this was before my daughter was born. So my daughter's 21 years old. So this is 22 years ago, at least. It was me, my wife, my mother-in-law, and my father-in-law, the four of us. We every year we made a goal to camp and hike along the coast of Washington State and going up through the peninsula up to Canada. And there are beaches that are listed along the way. They have no name. They just have a beach number. Beach one through I think there's like 68. And some of them are so small and so desolate, but we wanted to go to each and every one of them, and mark them on a GPS that we had been to. So we were camping in the whole rainforest up by the peninsula. So we went to did some sightseeing that day earlier, and we went to a Indian reservation there, Native American reservation. I don't know if I'm allowed to say Indian anymore, but so we went to the reservation and we bought cigarettes, bought some alcohol, ate lunch, did some sightseeing, learned about the culture a little bit that they had there in the museum, and then we got into our car and we went to and we took the ferry over to Victoria, I think it is. I can't remember. Doesn't matter. It's been a long time. So we got on the ferry, and then we got to the Canadian side, and we're going through customs. And as we're going through customs, there's a sign that says that please be aware you're only allowed to enter Canada with enough cigarettes for your own personal use. So my mother-in-law goes through customs, my father-in-law goes through customs, I go through customs, and then just as I'm walking past the customs booth and lady's done with me, and I'm putting my ID and everything back in my wallet, I hear my wife behind me. Well, she wasn't my wife. Well, no, but she was my wife at the time. Yeah, that was like 2 years ago, something like that. But I hear her say something to the customs lady, and it to me, I heard it, but I didn't hear it, and I was like, there's no way she said that. Well, she walked up to the booth and she told the lady, "I think I have contraband." That all the doors locked around us. Everything stopped right there. Yeah, my wife had 4 packs of clove cigarettes on her, and she considered that contraband. That's not what the customs department, and going into Canada thought. They thought that she was a drug mule and she was being pressured into going into Canada carrying like heroin up her butt or something. They didn't know what was happening, but they locked the border. And after they sorted the whole thing out, it took hours. And all these people who were in this thing at the time waiting in line, they locked the doors so nobody could leave. You couldn't leave. Couldn't go into camp. People are just going over for a day trip to go sightseeing. I think we were going to Bushart Gardens, wherever that is. For some reason, that's in my mind. But their entire day was ruined, and because of what she said, and they said that we're going to politely put you back on the ferry and send your butt back to the United States, and don't bother coming back until you get a letter from the consulate or something. Can't remember exactly how they worded it. So she got us kicked out of Canada. Excuse me. Oh yeah, clove cigarettes. Well, I'm going to have to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. Buppy, hi Buppy. Glad you could stop by today. But because I hear my little one is up and running around upstairs right now. Yeah. Well, April, the clove cigarettes you can't find them locally, and there she was able to find them on the reservation, tax free, and why she decided to tell the customs agent she had contraband, and maybe it was a sign, maybe it was just a slip, what she said. But well, there were a lot of people that were really upset because I think they closed the border for close to like 2 hours while we were there. They kept the ferry there. They wouldn't let anybody have their cars. They wouldn't let anybody, go through customs. Nothing, and we were stuck there. Those people, some of them were just going for a day trip over to Canada, and their day got ruined. We're lucky we got out of there, but they let everybody eventually let everybody into Canada except for us. They put us back on the ferry, took us back, and we were the only ones on the entire ferry, along with the crew. So that I guess it was like the last ferry of the day going over where we went. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. Thank you again for coming, and hanging out with me today and listening to my crazy ramblings. And again, if I don't think Tanya ever showed up, but I'd have no way of see. There's no return address on here, so I can't write her, and tell her thank you. I only have a first name on a letter, so I can't say thank you that way. So I just kind of keep on trying these live streams and say thank you. I'm looking into the case. So everyone, have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Stay safe out there, please. April P. Well, I hope you got to enjoy a little bit of it before I left. You can always go back and the rewind button and watch it again. Good night, everyone. Have have a great day and stay safe. Okay, I'm still here. Damn it. Not that I put that stupid thing on there. All right.